Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and once again it's Adora. So just in case you have forgotten the story of this man up here, let me refresh your mind a little bit. Now, some weeks back, or rather some months back, there was a trending story of this Ghanaian elderly man who lives in the UK and who has been here for a very long period of time. So now he's been here for quite a while, and he's had his family, he has established here, he's done everything one could think of doing in his or her own country. Only for him to be told many decades later that he's not British. Like he is not a British citizen, and that he has to go back home. He has to go back to his country, Ghana. Now, this particular news was very popular online. Why? One, it had to do with his age, because this man is he's really elderly. He's in his 70s, and going back home at this age was it was not what he was expected. Like, one would think he had already settled down here in the UK, and then why did he have to go home? And then secondly, one would also ask, what was he doing all this while that he wasn't a citizen, a British citizen? Like, what exactly happened? What led to this idea of the UK government disowning him as not British and did not have the right to remain in the country? Like, what happened? Because he spent quite a whole long number of time here in the UK. He has actually established, he had his own business. Yeah, he had mortgage for his house. He was actually doing what every other normal citizen in the country would do. And all of a sudden, he was asked to pack his bags and leave. But intervention came when his story came online after a few days. His story came online, and it was said that the UK government picked up this case as a particular point of interest and decided to work on it. And along the line, we also heard it from reliable sources online that he was granted is temporal leave to remain, just the temporal one, the one you'll be given for like 10 years, but in between the 10 years you have to renew it from time to time. So every 2.5 years you have to renew your visa, which is a temporal one. And at this point, if you have to renew it for 10 years, because within a space of 10 years you have to renew it like 4 times, and each application, each renewal within that 10 years costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money, both for your NHS to charge, the immigration fee, and then if you're using a lawyer, of course you have to pay the lawyer. So it was just too much for a man this age. And then at this point, this man is already in his 70s. So by the time he gets to maybe the end of his visa, the temporal visa, whatever that he was given, he should be like in his 80s or heading to 90s. That is still as a temporal citizen. It's not even like he's a permanent, it's not like he's British. So at this point, it was really crazy. Like, after how many years he has wasted in the country, this was now the result. This was now the solution he was given, to apply for a 10-year temporary leave to remain, in which he's going to spend a whole lot of thousands of pounds before he even attains the level of being a permanent resident, not a citizen yet, not granted citizenship yet. So at the end of the day, when this story came out, it shook a lot of people, because this is not just the first time people are hearing issues like this. This is very common among the Windrush generation, and it was kind of playing right now in like the African setting. Now, fast forward to recently. The latest news is that this man has actually received good news from the UK government. What's the good news about? So the idea of giving him the 10 years route, the 10 years temporary residency route, he was actually granted a permanent status in the UK. So he was actually given the status of having a permanent residence in the country, and after which he can now apply for his British citizenship, which is actually good news. Number one, for a man this age. Number two, for a man who has contributed so much to society. Like, it would be unfair, really unfair, to ask this man to pack his luggage and leave. So thank God his own idea, or rather his own issue, has been sorted out. We are very, very happy it ended on a good note. But now, that's to bring us back to the stories as it affects other people in his shoes who are still in the country. There are a lot of people that I have heard stories about that maybe they've been here for donkey years and they just like relaxed. They're relaxed in the sense that, okay, fine, maybe they have family here, maybe they are doing one or two jobs that fetches them money, maybe they've actually established, they have friends, they've entered into the system and they just feel they're okay. They don't see the need to pursue their legal documentations to remain in the country. They don't see the need to hold on to something legitimate to remain in the country. They just feel that as long as they can cater for themselves, as long as they can work, as long as they can do, some basic things just to keep body and soul together, they are fine. So when you even discuss, sometimes you discuss to them about getting into the system proper, legalize your stay in the UK so that you don't have to be running up and down from the immigration. You're running from the police when you see them, even when they're not coming after you, just because of that guilty conscience, you think they're after you. You get to the train stations, you are looking for who is not looking for you. Sometimes when I go to London, especially in London, it's very common there, to see enforcement agents once in a while patrol like train stations, bus stations, looking for people who they suspect do not have the legal right to stay in the country. I've seen a couple of these kind of operations very well. And imagine being in a situation where you don't have your legal documents to stay. Either you don't have a BRP card or you don't have your British passport. You don't just have any proof that you are supposed to be residing in the country legally. Imagine being in this situation. Like, it's not going to be funny running from pillar to post. Every time you see an enforcement agent, you're crossing the road to the other side because you think they're coming after you, even when they are not. Whenever you see a policeman, your heart skips because you think, oh, he's going to stop you and ask for your ID, even when he's not coming to you. So, like, how long are you going to continue this rat race, running around and running away from people who are not chasing you? That's why I think the earlier the better. If you've lived in this country as someone who is not documented yet, it's always very important. Look for legal counsel. Seek legal counsel as it concerns your situation. Try as much as possible to legalize your stay. It doesn't matter if you intend to be in the UK in the long run. It doesn't matter if you want to settle down here for life. It doesn't matter if you want to go back to your home country after a few years. It doesn't really matter. But what matters is the peace of mind you get, knowing that you are not, number one, breaking any law, knowing that, number two, you can sleep with both eyes closed, knowing that you can also benefit from the system as every other person, knowing that you can work and pay your taxes and not be chased around for not doing the right thing, knowing that you can apply for certain things and you get it. You understand? Like, you just feel like, yes, you fit. You just feel like, yeah, you fit into the system. You can do like what every other person is doing. Because not having your legal right to stay in the country, imagine yourself, you're just like a square peg in a round hole. You just feel like you do not really fit into what's happening. You feel like you are left out. So sometimes when people are discussing opportunities, they can actually assess to either improve their lives, improve their economy, or do one or two things to contribute either to themselves or to the system. You are looking away because you feel it does not concern you. You feel you are not qualified to get the help or to render such services as others are doing. So you always feel left out. So if you've been in the country for so many years, it's time to take the bull by its horn and do the needful. It's time to apply. It's time to regularize your stay, if for nothing, for that peace of mind. It's time to do something that will make you come out of the limbo, because it's not very, very easy hiding around. You're missing from the system. They're not even aware that you are in the country. Like, it's not funny. Try as much as possible. Try every means legal to regularize your stay in the UK. You will definitely enjoy it. There's a difference between being illegal and being legal. Like, the difference is too much. Your freedom to travel is there. Your freedom to associate with people without fear is there. Your freedom to be educated, you have to go to school, you're going to work, contribute to the society. There's so much freedom you can get. There's so much opportunities that you can access when you are legal in this country. So thank you very much for watching, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Bye.